today I'm going to talk about how to manage and maximize and prioritize your time to get the maximum return on your investment. Because time is a commodity, is our greatest commodity. You know, years ago, someone would tell me, you can't get, you can take my money, but, you can't take my time. So, but I looked at money, I'm like, if I have $100, I can't get that $100. If I give it to you or I lose it, I can't get that back. But you can't get it back. You can get another $100 back. But time, you can't get that back. If you give 2 hours to somebody of your life on the phone and you get nothing from that, and they leave you feeling drained, you get that's nothing that you didn't get anything from your investment in that conversation or your time spent in that conversation. So today is a very, very important topic. So why does time exist? Time exists, and I have a chart here. If you know me, I like to have little handy dandy charts to give you a visual view of what I'm talking about here. So this is time. So this represents someone's life. So this is non-physical. This is the spirit realm. This is us as spiritual beings having a physical experience in the physical, entering the physical realm to live a life. And you see, life has a time span. There's a beginning and an end. See, if life was forever, life would not be special. So that's why we have time in the physical. But that's not the only reason. I'm going to cover some other things that we're supposed to accomplish during the time that we're here on earth. So first and foremost, our spirit chose to come here on earth. Just going to give it a few more minutes. Somebody wants to join. My mom is sending me a notification. I want to make sure she gets in because that's mommy, right? She's probably going to have to look at it at a later date because I see I have a good number of viewers watching this right now. But time exists for us to complete certain amount of experiences. So one thing is each of us have a unique amount of experiences that we want to experience and do in the physical. So that's unique for every single person. That's why you can't compare what someone else is doing or covet what they're doing, because everybody's soul's desire and spirit desire is different in the physical. Gifts, talents, and abilities. Each of us have unique gifts, talents, and abilities that we're supposed to manifest in the physical. And I'm going to ask you a question right now. What is the richest place or the most valuable place in the world? Feel free to comment right now. The richest or the most valuable place in the world. Give you a few seconds to see if anybody gets this right. Brandon, do you know the richest place in the world or the most valuable place in the world? According to Miles Monroe, a Bohemian pastor who passed away years ago, the richest or the most valuable place in the world is the graveyard, because in it are the gifts, talents, abilities, dreams, goals that people let die with them to their grave. They let the fear factor, status quo, society stop them from fulfilling their dreams in the physical. So that's why you have to go within. You do the inward journey and you focus on what you're supposed to be doing on earth and not what somebody else is supposed to be doing. Through prayer and meditation, you can do anything that you want to do on earth. We each are unique emanations of God in human form. And when we connect to source, to God, we can do anything. We are all powerful. I look at little kids or toddlers. I say that they are fresh off of the spirit realm. And they know their power. They cry, they yell, they say no. And then the parents start to say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. But the child is like, oh, I want to have fun, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then fear starts to become a part of their mindset. You can't do this, you can't do that. You can't become this, you can't become that, because you have to go to 9 to 5, you have to get a 9 to 5, you have to go to college. And then they start to lose their creative mindset and their playful-like mentality because of what society starts to condition them to believe. Overcoming contrast. We're going to have contrast and obstacles in life. That is a given. No one is immune to it. Jesus, the Son of Man in human form, or God in human form, had to overcome contrast and obstacles in life. That is a part of our physical life experience. Spirit realm is perfect. We don't have contrast in spirit realm. We come here to overcome the contrast, because when you overcome the contrast in physical on earth, it's like a priceless experience that It's like a self-actualization moment that nothing else can compare to it. Fun and play. We're supposed to have fun and play on earth, okay? You know, we're not supposed to just be serious all the time. We're supposed to have fun, be childlike. That's one of the journeys and one of the difficult things for us to do as an adult, because if we need to be serious, we think we need to pay bills and be, you know, be the leader or in charge of the household all the time. We're supposed to have fun and be childlike for the rest of our life. Love. You're supposed to experience love with each other. Platonic, intimate relationships as well. Intimate connections is very important for us in the physical. That's one of the reasons why we came here. We came to have love, to have intimate connections with somebody, to procreate. Or, you know, you don't have to procreate. We don't have to procreate. We have enough humans on the planet right now. We don't have to like procreate. So this is a timeline on Earth. So I have this timeline right here is 80-year lifespan, because most of us, unfortunately, we don't live to the age of 80. We would not live to the age of 80. But I like to give this as a good depiction from what I'm about to do next, because as I stated earlier, I like to look at time like a currency, so money currency. So when you look at time as money currency, you start to really think about the time that you have on Earth. So let's think about the time that you have on Earth within a given day. So say you're sleeping 8 hours a day. So 1/3 of your life, every day you're sleeping. So if you extrapolate that over a week, a month, a year, you're sleeping almost 3,000 hours in a given day, a given year. Working, most of us in the Eastern Hemisphere, we're working 8 hours a day on average, 9 to 5. That's 120 days that you're working each year. That's why you're supposed to love what you do. So sleeping and working, that's 2/3 of your day already. 1/6 of your hours is spent doing like maintenance things, like cleaning, you know, washing dishes, driving, just basic things that you have to take care of and do every single day. You know, you want to take a bath. I hope you don't want to like go around dirty and, you know, smelling bad. You have to pay bills. You don't want to get evicted from your apartment. So those things you have to do every single day if you want to maintain like a good, reasonable lifestyle. So that's about 1/6 of your day. So that's about 6 hours that you spent doing basic life maintenance things. So outside of that, you have about 4 hours of free time every single day. Now, this is a column that's very, very important, because this is going to determine who you are as a person. How you manage this column right here is how you are going to evaluate your value of your time currency on Earth. So 4 hours each day. What are you doing with that extra 4 hours? Think about that. We're going to go talk about that a little bit further when I get to the next slide. Free time, you get about 60 days equivalent to free time each year. So let me just take it to Facebook Live and see what some of the people are saying. No comments here. Any questions, any comments? You know, feel free to comment on it. So again, if you're just joining, we're talking about time, the time management of your life. Debt is a real topic. I didn't talk about that at the beginning of this broadcast or this Facebook Live, but real talk, we're all going to make a physical transition process. It's a hard topic to talk about. We don't talk about it, but we should. We should normalize talking about the non-physical or the physical transition process back into non-physical, because it is the only thing promised to us in life. We know that we're going to be born, the time to born or be born, and there's a time to die. And what are you going to do with the time that you have on Earth? Time is ticking. What will you do with the time you have left? Will you let all the talents, gifts, and abilities die with you to the graveyard, or will you let it physically manifest through thought, imagination? See, we each are unique emanations of God, and we are created in the likeness and the image of God. And we can because we're created in the likeness and the image of God, we can create just like God through thought, through imagination, through work, through action, and then it becomes physically manifested by being persistent and consistent and overcoming contrasts and obstacles in life. So we talked about time on earth. So this is basically someone that lives about 80 years, okay? And as I stated earlier, most of us will not make it to this age. The average age in the U.S. is below 80. It's about 72, 76. So you're sleeping about 26 years of your life. That's why you have to love for your sleep, people. You know, some people are just sleeping out of comfort, you know, sleeping with somebody next to them they don't really like because they don't like being alone. They want a cuddle buddy. You know, cuffing season is about to get over with. Some of y'all about to drop some of y'all little cuffing buddies, but you wasted a whole winter with them. That's 3 months of your life. And if you do that, you know, every single year, have a cuff buddy during the wintertime every single year, you know, that's a big chunk of this 26 years that you're spent sleeping with somebody. There's an exchange of energy when you connect with somebody in an intimate way, even just talking with somebody, but hugging somebody, sleeping next to them. There's an exchange of vibrational energy that's released with each other. So you need to be careful. You don't know who else they're sleeping with. You don't know what kind of trauma, what kind of energy they're giving off to you. Sometimes you can feel it. Sometimes you don't because you're lonely and you're bored. But think about that when you're sleeping with somebody. Love yourself. So you're sleeping by yourself, and obviously you're with yourself, you know, every day of your life. That's why self-love is important. You should love yourself. Self-care. Love yourself first before loving others. Build those boundaries and borders. You know, Jesus, whether you believe he's a man of God, son of man, God in human form, a prophet, he exemplified a perfect way to live with building boundaries and borders. He took care of people. He healed people. He ministered to them. But he knew when it was time for them to go and retreat in the wilderness and be with God and be with himself and connect with God before he can go back and do the work again. So take care of yourself first. Working. Love what you do, people. A lot of us are still working 9-to-5 jobs that we don't like. Now I know that some people have kids, they have bills, but you don't take any bills with you to the graveyard. You don't take any of that. All those possessions that you want, the clothing that you wear. I know it's nice to look good, but you don't take that with you to the graveyard. You don't take that back to you to spirit realm. So love what you do. And luckily we have what we have right now going on the earth field is that there's a duality going on between the older generation's 9-to-5 mindsets, and we have these new group of souls who want to be creative. They want to be expressive. They're an advanced group of souls, and that's why there's some balance, some contrast between older generation and the new generation, because the new generation like, no, I don't want to do a 9-to-5. I want to be my unique emanation of God on earth. And they're trying to figure out what they want to do on earth. They don't know yet because they're like, oh, I'm supposed to come to this earth school. They want me to go to this college. They want me to do this 9-to-5. Some 9-to-5 jobs are great. Don't get me wrong. Education, healthcare, those are some creative jobs because you can create vaccines. You can help develop a child. But, some of the 9-to-5 jobs, some people just don't like. They're miserable. I was there years ago. And I made that leap of faith. I, planned financially to make the leap of faith, and then I went within me, and I discovered what the creative aspects I had that I didn't even know I had until I tuned with God and spent some time with God alone by myself. So that's why prayer and meditation is so important. And that's prayer and meditation. Meditation can be whatever you deem meditation for you. Look, I used to meditate in the bathroom, taking baths. Walking in the sauna, working out. There are different ways to meditate, not just being like, the monks or whatever you deem it to be. It's quieting of the mind, getting rid of the physical distractions on the earth and getting that intuition from within, your unique intuition. The intuition is not from somebody else. They may guide you to where you're supposed to be going, but all the answers are already within you. Let's talk about life maintenance. So 13 years doing life maintenance work, cleaning, driving, paying bills, bathing. Can't really get around this because this is very important. You know, you wanna stay clean. If, you know, it took me some time to do my hair, get my hair did. You know, brother got some hair now. You know, I used to roll with the army cut before. You know, it took me some time to get ready for y'all. Driving, you know, I like to drive sometimes. Paying bills, gotta do that. I want to keep this apartment. 13 years. Free time. We have approximately 13 years of free time on earth if you're living for 80 years on this earth. So for most people, you have less than that. Let's talk about free time. Life purpose. Are you working on your life purpose in your free time? What are you doing with those 4 extra hours you get each day? Are you watching Netflix? Going through social media each day for 4 hours? Now, those watching Netflix, going through social media, Instagram, TikTok, etc., it's good. It's good. You can find some funny things on there. You can connect with people from a creative standpoint, from a business standpoint, but limit the amount of time you have on there. Are you DMing somebody? Are you checking to see who, if somebody looked at your story? Come on, we're all guilty of it. I've done it. And it ain't changed. They watch my story. Oh, checking for people. 4 hours. Your life. Is it worth your time? Gym, working out, vacation, reading, spending time with family and friends. You can do that within your free time. Dating. Some of y'all, and look, I'll admit it too. I used to date just to stay occupied. But then I found out that, why am I dating that person? Like, I'm not getting anything from it but an instant dopamine moment of like gratification, or not even gratification, just some attention. And I'm not getting anything from it. I'm giving the person time of my life. You date somebody, you're giving them a portion of your life that you can't get back. Is that boy worth 4 hours of your day for months? 13 years, 13 years. If you're dating somebody that you don't really, spending 4 hours with them every single day after work, give or take, maybe less than 13 years, but you're giving somebody a portion of your life. Be mindful of that. When you spend even a minute with somebody, are they valuable of your time? Arguing, is that argument worth it? Why are you arguing with the person on the street? The person in the car that drove crazy with, in front of you? Yeah, you may have to say something like instantaneously to, get it off your chest. Like, I yell at people sometimes, or, I make a comment sometimes, but like, pull over on the side of the road, argue with somebody, not worth your time. You only have a smaller portion of time on earth. Sexting, during my heyday, I used to, do some things through the texting, but it was wasting my time. When I started to cut that stuff out, and I'll talk about it a little later. And porn, look, a brother used to be addicted to porn, used to watch porn a lot, but I got out of that. It was just an instant moment of fulfillment. It didn't fulfill anything deep within me. And actually, when I started to cut out porn, sexting, dating people that I didn't have a soulful or a spiritual connection with, I started to go. That's what allowed me to go within and find the creative aspects of me that I didn't even know I had. I didn't know I could write. I didn't even know how to write a book. When I started to cut those things out, I opened up all this free time to do other things on earth. And then my intuition said, write this book. Then write another book. I have 2 manuscripts. They'll be completed soon. God said, write this book. Here are the chapters. Write this other book. Here are the people that are going to give you the insight and the push to get that book done. People that are already doing the work. Also, I didn't even know I could even act. I'm like, acting? Somebody approached me about acting years ago. I'm like, no, not me. But you know what I was doing? I was too busy sexting, dating, porn, dating apps, messaging people, trying to fit in with everybody. 13 years, people. If you're living 80 years, you only have 13 years in this category. I mean, what do you want to get in your life? Let's talk about some other things. And first, I'm going to see. Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you for Demetrius. brother, I wish I could do this more often, but, I'm very busy these days, and try to, Granny said, Mama, close your ears. TMI. Look, I know some old people that have done all of these things I just discussed. So everybody, I know pastors that have done it, because I've had pastors reach out to me through sexting. Okay, I know actresses, and it's for male and female. I've had both sexes reach out to me, sexting, trying to get in, where they could fit in. So it's human nature. So let's talk about something that, this is okay if that's your past. Because it's my past. It's not a part of my present right now, nor will it be a part of my future. Because I have no desire to watch porn right now. I have no desire to sex or text somebody that I'm not very, very interested in creating a partnership with for however many years that's going to be. I have no desire to argue with somebody unless I'm on a debate stage or they're hurting somebody that I love. I have no desire to date somebody. I may, flirt a little bit here and there, but I have no desire to date somebody who I don't see there's like going to be a long-term like benefit or a short-term benefit, because some relationships are short-term and that's supposed to last forever. And that's a whole nother topic that we're not, just because a relationship ends doesn't mean it's a bad thing. So let's talk about something else. I'm just looking at my little board right here. People and time, I think I covered that. When you're giving somebody your time, you're giving them a chunk of your life. I was on the phone with a friend a few days ago. 2-hour conversation. I was drained afterwards. I gave him a piece of my life that I can never get back. He drained me for hours afterwards. 2 hours, I was talking to somebody. I got nothing on my return. That is 2 hours of my time currency on earth that I cannot get back. So this brings me to a segment called Time Stealers. Evaluate the time stealers in your life. These can be people, places, or things. People that you're not supposed to be dating or texting. Places, bathhouses, spas, things that go on there. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but, you go to another country, understand, I'm not even going to touch on that subject right now, because that's a whole different conversation. So things like porn, social media, too much TV. Yes, TV is good. You get to watch people's creative, artistic expressions on there, but be mindful if there's some other things that you should be doing. So you can die. So when it comes to the end of your life, you die on E. You die like Jesus at peace when he said, "It is finished," and his spirit ascended to heaven. You die like the Apostle Paul when he said, "It is finished. I have finished my course. I have fought a good fight." They died on E. They did everything, all the experiences, the gifts, the talents, abilities, they let it physically manifest on earth. And I was talking about the past. So this is the past right here. This, like, if you used to be addicted to porn, if you used to do things that are stealing your time, regrets, it's okay if it's a part of your past. Apostle Paul is attributed to having written 70% of the Bible. 70% of the New Testament, 70% of the New Testament was written by the Apostle Paul. Do you know who the Apostle Paul, who he was in his former life? He killed Christians. Yes. Book of Timothy, Galatians, all those chapters in the New Testament, outside of the 4 Gospels, I believe. He used to kill Christians. And now his work, or what is believed to be his work, is the foundation of Christianity in the world today. He had a past. You have a past. I have a past. You could put an end to it today. Busyness of life. Let's talk about business of life, because I'm running short on time. I got a meeting at 1 p.m. So business of time. So I called one of my friends last night. "Hey, haven't talked to you in a while. How have you been?" "Oh, busy doing this, busy doing that, busy doing this, busy doing that." I'm like, man, when do you have time to breathe? When do you have time to just relax and enjoy you? Have some self-care. Life should be fulfilled. It doesn't have to be busy all the time. A lot of us confuse busyness for effectiveness. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being effective. I know we have to pay bills. I know we have to take care of stuff. We have goals. We have creative projects that we want to do. But I read an article just 2 days ago. And one of the top 5 regrets of someone dying on their deathbed was being too busy in life. Too busy to spend time with family and friends, their parents, their siblings, their loved ones. Too busy to enjoy the beach, hiking, relaxing, doing nothing. Don't be too busy. Enjoy life. What's the value of your time? What will you give up today? I challenge you, each of you, to do a reevaluation of where you're spending your time at. Some of these topics some of the areas may be things that I talked about today. Some of them may be something that I did not talk about because I don't have time to. I could talk about this project or this topic for a long period of time, but what can you reevaluate today? Do an analysis of your acquaintances, your friends, your habits, your addictions. Is it worth your time? Is it giving you a return on your time currency? Time is ticking. I have another topic. So, say you made a mistake in the past, and you can't. It's in your head. It's like, oh, I can't believe I did that. That's okay. Apostle Paul used to kill Christians. A mistake is okay. You know, I look at it like a movie. You get to, in movie sets, there's a take one, take two, scene one, take one, scene one, take one, take two, take three. You get to do it over again. So a mistake is an opportunity to do it over again. As long as you're here on earth, you get an opportunity to have another take at life, to have another take at when you see that person again, not to be mad at them, not to be upset at them, to get another take to make another decision when you're faced with the same circumstance. And another thing is, all invitations or invites is not a blessing. You know, I used to try to fill up my social calendar doing this on Monday. Somebody invited me to this on Monday. Somebody invited me to this on Tuesday. I got to go to all these things during the week. You know, I'm so busy. Oh, when I'm going to have time for me? You don't have to go to those events. All those invitations is not a blessing for you. Just because things and events would always be occurring in life. You think Beyonce goes to every single event? You think Oprah goes to every single event? No. These people are highly successful because they know how to prioritize and strategize their time. This free time right here, they're focusing more on like purpose. Oprah doesn't watch a lot of TV. Barack Obama doesn't watch a lot of TV. They watch specific shows, but they're not doing all this stuff in this lower category right here. That's why these people are successful. And that is what separates successful people from unsuccessful people. And success is unique. It could be a janitor, it could be successful. So I don't want to say just because you have a certain level of living that you're unsuccessful, but I want you to view it as from a point that, you know, people like, oh, you know, these famous people, these rich people, they are, you know, they can do, you know, they are, you know, they're gifted. They've been blessed. They've been lucky. No, they have not been lucky. They have the same 24 hours in a day as you, as me, as Joe, John, Bob, Brandon, Brandy, Judy. We all have the same amount of time in a day. Oprah and all these other famous people, they know how to prioritize and manage their time to get the maximum return on their money investment on earth, which is their time, which is the greatest commodity. So beware of distractions. Beware of time stealers. Do evaluation, an inventory of where you spend your time. I want you to die on E. I want to die on E, having given everything that I could have given on earth and manifested it to the fullest capacity possible. What are you going to do with the time that you have left? I know this is uncomfortable. We don't like to talk about it, but each of us will have to face it at some point in time in our life. And as we get older, it's going to occur more and more and more through loved ones that make that physical transition. Tick tock, tick tock. What are you going to do with the time you have left? Thank you. I love you. Have a blessed and prosperous day, week, year, and life. And I hope you enjoyed this. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time. I could have taken many different avenues with it, but I just wanted to be I wanted to put it out there and see how I can share it to everyone. So, I may talk about it again, but I just wanted to get it off my chest for right now, for the time being. So, thank you.